All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. It's fantastic to have you joining us live for Schoolscape IT 2020. On stage with me is my co-host Ashley, who's the event director, and somewhere popping up on your screen shortly is going to be Kevin. Kev, welcome. Kevin is from Faramir Primary. Brilliant. What is absolutely phenomenal, I just checked the stats this morning. We have 500 people, IT decision makers, sign up for this morning's track. And this afternoon, we have over 800 teachers. So it's actually fantastic to have such a high response for our first virtual event. Ash, maybe just a question to start off with you. How did this event come about?
Well, we historically always ran our Schoolscape events, physical events, which focused on any procurement in schools. Then after one of them, we met Kevin. Kevin reached out and he said to us, guys, you know, what I really like to see is how IT stuff works together in reality, in a holistic fashion. You know, how do we have all these different supplies, but how do they all kind of come together, integrate, and make a school function seamlessly? And so he kind of birthed the idea of focusing on IT. Then we started our IT events. We planned it in 3 months. The industry was so excited to work together on it, to show schools all these different new capabilities that were coming into education at the time. And it was incredible. We never dreamt that our IT event, ironically, would become a virtual event. But here we are. And well, now we get to really practically demonstrate how this looks in a virtual setting with virtual and blended learning technology. So we're really excited about it.
Thanks, Ash. I have to admit, first time we ever first met Kevin, he was wearing t-shirts, shorts and pluckies at an event. So he won me over in that moment. So Kev, what can our attendees expect from today's event?
Yeah, Pete, it's actually pretty cool. You know, we've got the ability to hear stories from real schools. So it's actually schools that are using technology and how they're using it. And then we get to see how the technology works together. So how are the schools using this technology in a realistic way? And then right at the end of the session, they can engage and network with a lot of the other attendees.
Brilliant. Thanks, Kevin. So today's agenda, we have jam-packed. So we've got Arthur Goldstrike up first. I can see he's live in the wings waiting. Thereafter, we hear from the team from Schoolscape Primary to hear how they rolled out 50 classrooms with interactive boards during COVID. And then after that, we're going to have the Lion's Den pitch. So the Lion's Den pitch gives 4 companies the opportunity to try win you over, each with 7 minutes. And then throughout the whole process, every now and again, we know that as schools, you've been making magic happen during a crazy time. So we have our comedian on standby, Pierre here, better known as Peter G. He's sending us a couple of clips. He's going to be doing a main session just now, but we just thought we want to inspire you a bit as well. So what I'm actually going to do now quickly is share my screen. He sent me a video. Don't be shocked in the first 20 seconds when he turns around, but he does but he does something that is absolutely amazing. So please bear with me as I share my screen and get just a quick 30-second clip from him. All right, sorry, let me just get the right screen up. Let's see what he has to say.
Whoa, you guys are a little bit quick on me. Since I don't have to get dressed for school anymore, I'm a little bit late, but let me just get dressed. Much better way getting dressed. I hope you're ready for some comedy, some magic. Laughter is the best medicine out there. I know when I get in the bathtub, the toilet water rises. I'm not sexy, but I'm very nice. My name is Peter G, and enjoy these clips.
Brilliant. So that was Peter G. He's going to be sharing. I'm absolutely amazed. I don't know how he does that. But Ash, over to you. If you can just give us a bit more.
So today's session runs for an hour and a half, and they're not long, so stick around. It's short, punchy, and yeah, we really kept it limited so that it's something that will inspire, but also it'll provide great value in the time that you lend to us. So after today's session, there's a bunch of meetups. These are like roundtable discussions, workshops on a lot of the products and services that you will see, as well as the inspiring talks that Arthur's giving, and that there's a bunch of real life teachers and headmasters and that are going to jump on and also host those sessions. So please jump in on those sessions. They're going to be awesome. There's a Google tour builder that one of our amazing IT partners is going to be demonstrating, and then also there's stories and insights from Edgeboard and from Craneswick, that how to raise funds for an IT project of that scale. So they're going to be detailing that in those sessions. So please join us for those. We also have some amazing prizes to give away. We love giving prizes away to schools. So we have a biggie. We have a 75-inch panel from Promethean that they very generously are going to give to one of our schools. To win that prize, you need to do 4 easy steps. You need to download the app. You need to visit 10 exhibitor booths. 1 needs to be Promethean at least. You need to select the offers and details, and then you need to comment on their chat. So anything you might like about them, any question you may have for that specific exhibitor, and we're going to put those all into, everyone that qualifies obviously, into a draw, and one of your schools will win that amazing prize. There's also take-a-lot vouchers and a whole lot of sneaky secret things that we're going to pop out along the way. So yeah, we're really excited to give some great prizes away today as well. So yeah.
Brilliant. I'm going to ask Ashley Lawrence to come on stage. Ashley is our main sponsor for the event from Sonnecore. They are giving away 10 1,000 Rand take-a-lot vouchers, so which is incredibly generous and amazing. So those are going to be up for grabs. But Ashley, just a quick question. Welcome.
Thank you.
Why are you involved with the event? Why is Sonnecore involved?
Well, this is our second year, and thanks very much for allowing us to participate and taking us on as a major sponsor. The response has been great. In order for us to reach out to the schools, the people that we've spoken to, and the problems we've been able to address at some of the schools, and this platform has been a fantastic medium. I mean, Kevin and I met at his school, Aston Primary, before, and we kind of went through some architect designs and looked at fixing the school's problems there, and we're now busy chasing at his new school. So it's great to, this platform and your kind of the whole school advisor platform enables us to kind of literally, as planned, as Ashley said, is to join IT decision makers at school with vendors to kind of fix the problems of the school, and that's a great opportunity. That's why we enjoy working with you guys, and you know, I mean, we make allowances for the fact you're from Cape Town, but you know.
Thanks, Ashley. We appreciate that. But Ashley, I think just a big thank you from our side. The event is free for all of our schools, and it's because of kind, generous sponsorship like yours. And on top of that, who doesn't like 1,000 Rand take-a-lot voucher? So we'll get to those later. I'm now going to hand over to Kevin, who's going to introduce our first high-impact speaker for the day. But that's our welcome. Please reach out to us on the community tab. There's Ask Organizers Anything. We are there to answer any of your questions. You literally just click on community. That's also where you can find the meetups. So Ashley, we'll see you later. Other Ashley and I are going to drop off screen now, and we're going to let Kev jump into intro our first speaker. Enjoy.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Yes, it's time to welcome Arthur Goldstuck. Arthur is an award-winning writer. He's an analyst and technology commentator. He's also the winner of SA's Distinguished Service in ICT Award. He has authored, I think, 19 books. He's the editor-in-chief of South Africa's longest-running online consumer technology magazine, which is gadget.co.za. I'm sure many of you have seen it before. He also writes a weekly tech trends column for the Sunday Times. Everybody knows the Sunday Times. He also does a weekly consumer technology feature for The Citizen. He's the founder of Worldwide Works, a leading groundbreaking market research company, and he presents his insights globally. He presents insights globally across to everybody. So Arthur, welcome. I'm going to hand over to you, man.
Thank you, Kevin. Happy August, everyone. and happy level 2. Let's hope we are seeing the end of the beginning of the crisis that the world has been in. I want to share with you a perspective of how we are dealing with that crisis that most of you are familiar with, but haven't quite put your finger on. And that is the digital transformation that we have all undergone. Digital transformation is a bit of a buzz phrase. And generally speaking, it means converting your processes from physical into digital processes. People talk about digitization, which is really just converting paper into, or analog into digital. But digitalization is where your processes become digital and everything can be linked together. And your processes can be linked, your people can be linked, and your activities can all be integrated with all the processes. So that really underpins the reason why some schools have thrived, some have managed to get along, and others have simply been left behind. And that is because of the ability to be digitally transformed. Many schools thought they were digitally transformed because they had simply digitized their documentation, say textbooks or even exams could be put into digital format. But that's not digitalization. Digitalization is when you realize that you actually have to have a new mindset of both processes and people being integrated with what you do. And I'm going to put that in the perspective of what's happening in the business and the consumer worlds. So in the consumer space, for example, we saw around 4% of South Africans shopping online about 2 years ago. Last year, that went up to 6%. And this year, we thought it might reach 10%. But once the COVID-19 pandemic hit, we saw the proportion of South Africans shopping online rocket up to 37%. That's massive. That's people who would never have considered shopping before suddenly being online. And then in the business space, a Worldwide Works conducted research into how companies have adapted to the new era of remote working. And we found that those companies that had been digitally transformed were 70% likely to have increased productivity. Those that weren't digitally transformed, only 29% likely to have increased productivity. But there was one other key statistic. That was when we asked how many companies are likely to continue with remote working after this is all over. And that percentage came to 38%, almost exactly the same as the proportion of people shopping online. And putting those two statistics together tells us a story of a country that has woken up to digital opportunity. That's why we call this the digital awakening. So it's not so much digital transformation that's driving new ways of work, of play, of learning, but rather digital awakening. And we are all part of that digital awakening. We are all realizing just how the world has changed. I'm going to share a couple of slides with you quickly to put that in perspective. So this was a picture from the year 1900, when they looked forward to what the world would look like in 2000. And this is how they imagined education. Bear in mind, this is a time when electricity wasn't even widely available, let alone the idea of computers. So what you have is the teacher shoveling text into a machine, and that gets fed into people's heads. In fact, it's not as far-fetched as it seems, because that, in a way, is what's happening today. Textbooks are being turned into digital means, and they're being fed to learners via tablets, laptops, whiteboards, and the like. That is for the schools that are digitally enabled. But there is a technology shift that's happening that tells us that in the next 10 years, we may well be able to use brain waves to be able to convert thoughts into text. And then the other way around, text going into thoughts, being fed into brains, that's perhaps another 20, 30 years away. So the only thing wrong with this picture is that it's about 50 years too optimistic. But this, in a way, is where we're going. But in another sense, this is also where we're at, trying to shove facts into people's heads. And this is what's fundamentally wrong with the picture. Not the technology, but the mindset. Because the world of 2020s and 2030s is going to be a world that's going to be heavily driven by artificial intelligence. And we hear about how AI is going to take away jobs. But the reality is it's going to make us better at our jobs. In most professions where AI is being employed, it in fact enhances people's ability to perform. And the idea will be that the learner of today has to be prepared for a world in which they look for solutions using tools like AI rather than that they will draw on facts that they already know. So it's not going to be about rote learning and about memorizing and about being tested on what you can remember. That's an absurd idea. And that is precisely the kind of mindset that you see in this picture from 120 years ago. The learner of the future has to be prepared for critical thinking, for collaboration, and for problem solving. Now I want to show you the picture today of what occupies our minds. And you can look at Google Trends to see what people are searching for. It's a fascinating picture. The yellow line is people searching for information on school. And the big peak that you see early on in that curve is the back to school peak in January. So that's when the most concern, interest, and research on school is happening. Then you see that big drop suddenly where the blue curve rises. The blue curve is people searching for Netflix. And one brief moment when lockdown began in South Africa, we saw interest in Netflix overtaking interest in school. And then the red curve at the bottom is people searching for information on Zoom, because Zoom became the default way to communicate, to collaborate, and to meet with people. Zoom never reached the levels that Netflix did, but if you look at the peak of Zoom, you can see it's higher than what the average was for Netflix prior to lockdown. Then Netflix kind of subsides, Zoom subsides, but interest in school remains high and is still far greater than interest in what you can see as proxies for entertainment and for work. So learning, entertainment, and work in that order is people's priority right now in terms of digital awakening. And this highlights the incredible responsibility that schools have for embracing the digital revolution, but not in terms of simply digitizing, but changing their mindset towards a digital awakening. The next graph I'm going to show you is from the IDC, that's the International Data Corporation, looking at the shape of the coming situation in terms of moving through the pandemic and coming out the other side. And this applies to the business world, but equally it will apply to education, to e-commerce and other areas of activity. Certainly in the investment world, this is a critical graph. And the bad news is that right now we are in fact still on a downward path in terms of coping with the crisis. The big focus in the business world at the beginning of the crisis was business continuity. And you can see the exact parallel in the educational environment where continuity of education became the big priority. Everyone watching here was probably looking at ways of continuing with schooling, continuing with teaching through the crisis. And that's the equivalent of business continuity. But what we are still going to see is the massive impact of the recession that we've already entered in all areas, in business, in education, in e-commerce. We will see that the recession will reduce our access to resources and reduce our ability to be able to do whatever we want in the digital environment. It won't be as easy as that. But what it will show is resilience. So in this graph, it talks about business resiliency. But we'll see those organizations that are able to employ this approach to resilience through all the activities. And then gradually, as a vaccine is found to work and is rolled out, we'll start seeing a return to normality and therefore a return to growth. But when we come out the other side, it won't be the same world. It will be a world that is digitally transformed. It will be one in which everyone has experienced some or other form of digital awakening. Governments will have to wake up to the fact that the future is digital, and that's the future of business and education as well as government. And what we have to do now through the recession is prepare for that future and build on the knowledge that we are gaining through this digital awakening. So when we come out the other side, we have to all be digitally awake. Schools have to be digitally awake. And in that way, we'll be prepared for this future. We'll also be ready to prepare our children, our learners, for the future of work. Thank you, Kevin.
Arthur, thank you so much, man. Lots of wise words there, and we really, really appreciate you chatting to the schools. I think a lot of schools, we could learn a lot from someone such as yourself. So really, thank you so much. It's been an honor and a privilege to have you on. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Okay, guys, we're going to actually move on now to our next session. So I'm going to bring in Derek Underwood from Edgeboard, and then the guys from Kruinsig. We're going to bring them in, and we're going to have them chat about how Kruinsig actually got 50 Edgeboards installed during lockdown, and what were the challenges they faced, and what made them do this. It's a school in Kempton Park. It's a very good school and a very well-run school. And I've got Derek on now, I can see. Derek, I'm actually going to hand over to you, and you can maybe tell us a little bit more about the project and tell us why Edgeboard did what they did and how you guys set this up. Thanks.
Certainly. Thanks very much, Kev, and welcome everybody this morning. And as Arthur Goldstock, welcome to level 2. Hopefully things will ease up a lot more for us, but I think we have a lot of time pressures here, so I'm going to give a very quick introduction, and much more excited to actually share some of the videos and information that we're going to do with you during the course of this morning. But yeah, just really super happy to and proud to have been involved in this project with Kruinsig, especially during COVID, not expecting to do this level and type of business, but it came forward, and they've been such an amazing school to work with this particular project. So I think during the Q&A afterwards, we can go into a lot more detail as to how it happened and how we managed to do it during this time. But I think just a quick intro from me, managing director and co-founder of Edgeboard. We've been in the education space for well over 10 years. I think pre-digital almost to immersive digital due to COVID really pushing us forward. So a very interesting decade of education space to have been involved in. And we're happy to even just be here in COVID time, because I think for all of us, it's been a very stressing time, and a lot of painful adjustments have had to be made for all of us on all levels, personal and professional. So if you're here and you're with us, it's really fantastic to share this session with you. So I think with that, I think we're going to jump into the video. Bianca will share our video in a moment, and that will be about 20 minutes of video with interviews with the school and the staff and the headmaster, Dr. Johan Kuur. And let's go through that for the next 20 minutes, and then afterwards we'll have the Q&A and can entertain some more questions and stuff after that. So thanks very much, guys. I hope you enjoy the video. We enjoyed putting it together and enjoyed doing the project with Kruinsig. We'll see you in a moment. Thanks so much. I'm just hoping Bianca's there. Kev, can you see Bianca at all?
See, Bianca hasn't joined as of yet. Maybe while we wait for her there, Derek, if you don't mind, could you just explain to us the Edgeboards that you guys have? When you install the board, is it an easy process? Is it a quick process?
Probably the Edgeboards are one of the easiest processes to install, as in the LED panels, compared to other technologies, because it's a one unit component product that you literally put on the wall and everything is in there, you know, turnkey, your sound system, the touch functionality, the screen and everything. So there's not a lot of cabling and stuff. So in general, it's easier to roll out panels than say projector-based solutions. Yeah, I think that total project took us about 2 weeks to install completely in 50 of the classrooms. So
That's incredible.
yeah, with the consent of the school and access to various different venues, it can be rolled out very efficiently.
No, that's incredible. Derek, I've actually got word here. Looks like Bianca's having some difficulty. Do you perhaps have the video on your side over there?
Sure, I'll share my screen from my side. I hope our connectivity gives you a reasonable enough picture. I know the audio will probably stream pretty well. If the picture's not that great, then we can just excuse that, and hopefully we can rescreen it another time as well. But I think let's hear what the headmaster and the teachers have to say in the process there.
Okay.
Just a moment, I'm going to get that up and running. Just give me some feedback if you can hear that clearly.
Looks good.
All right, let's kick off with that then. I'm just going to turn my video off as well, which will help us hopefully stream a lot faster. All right. Okay, here we go.
Eduboard, the South African Digital Classroom and Technology Specialists. I am here to find out a little bit more about their collaboration and how they managed to achieve such a massive project of installing interactive LED panels in all their classrooms during a global pandemic. Now come and join me as I go in and have a conversation with some of the teachers. To start off the interview, we'll be having a chat with Dr. Johan Greer. He is actually the principal of Greensig Primary School. Come along with me as I go have a chat with him. Now, Johan, we have obviously been faced with a global pandemic, and that has obviously affected all of us in different ways and has disrupted the normal way of teaching. Now, what would you say you and your staff did to try and adjust to these changes before the process was started with Eduboard?
Okay. Initially we thought a week, maybe 2 weeks of lockdown. We're happy, a nice little break before the actual school holidays. And well, history taught us otherwise. Then we realized that for the interest of the learners, we need to think otherwise to get information and teaching or learning equipment to the learners. So
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Derek.
It looks like Bianca can join us. Apparently the video feed is a bit fuzzy. I'm not sure I was looking at your side. We can get Bianca in and hopefully improve that.
Yeah, sure. I think she can maybe start the video at around 5 minutes.
Yeah, she's actually there ready to roll. Can you see her in the system?
Yes, yeah. Let me contact one of the guys to just let her in quickly.
Okay, let's rather do that because I think it's important that people see this clearly and stuff. It looks like the internet's let us down this side. So
So no worries.
No
worries. Okay. Bianca, you can just unmute yourself and share screen with us, and you can go for it there.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hi, thanks, Bianca. All right, let's see if we can get your video playing much better than mine.
Okay, let's do it.
learners. So And we started looking around, what can we do? We had a D6 communicator, there's WhatsApps, and then the school's web page that we used. Some of the more creative educators, they started using Facebook and YouTube, where we're all not really comfortable with that, but that's the way we started off, taking the learning material to the learners. Some people wanted to stick with the paper, so we arranged with a shop where they're allowed to go in to collect the stuff, which was fine, but it was not ideal. And then as time went by, we realized that we really had to do something else to get the learners more interactive or get the information to them. So then we started looking around at different platforms that we can use, like Google and Microsoft Teams. And by the end of the day, we decided let's use Microsoft Teams. Then at one stage, the announcement was made that schools can start reopening, introducing learners, but only 50% of the learners. So there was the next challenge. Keeping in mind that, for argument's sake, if we stuck to not having the learners there, certain grades would only have been in school for 45 days this whole year. It's not in the best interest of the learner, and that's our responsibility to look after these learners' best interest. Then we say, okay, we need something more where the teacher can work in the class with the learners that's there, but also be able to support the learners that's at home for the 50% not allowed to go, or for comorbidities or whatever the case might be. And then we started looking into interactive, and then we decided on EduBoard. And from there on, teaching has never been the same.
And how would you describe your overall experience with EduBoard?
Very positive. One of the reasons that, remember, we looked at different companies and I had a chat with different people. I think one of the main factors that motivated me to go, or to try to convince the school governing body to go with EduBoard, first of all, is the type of program software that you have, but the people at EduBoard, the way that it wasn't just a sale, it became a relationship where I can pick up the phone, or people are always friendly. How can we assist you? There's no problem. We are able to adapt to your time frames. That was the one thing that really motivated me to say, okay, maybe this is the way to go. It's not, here's the quote, and not ones that you mention your competitors has got this and this and this. This is what we are able to provide you, and this is what we do. And I think that was important to me.
They were there with you every step of the way.
Every step of the way. They're professional, they're friendly. We could relate to what EduBoard has to offer to us.
Okay, and lastly, what would your advice be to principals or even teachers during this difficult time?
I think well, if I had to give a message to say, first of all, stay positive. Get another mind frame, have a paradigm shift. Go away from the talk and chalk like we used to. Don't be afraid of the digital world. If you make a mistake, it's fine. You've got learners that can guide you. They're not afraid to press a button. And if it's a mistake, if you don't make mistakes, it means you do nothing. So use this platform, use the digital world in preparing the children, but it also unlocks a new world for us as educators. All of a sudden, you think differently, you prepare better. There's a new vibe, a new energy, and I think if principals can take that to their schools and say, let's implement this. There's always people that's afraid of everything, but heck, if it's there, use it. By the end of the day, you create this environment for learners, which is it's wonderful.
Yeah.
They want to come to school. They want to see what's happening. You don't have to tell them about the volcano. You can show them. And I think that makes a difference. Not only for the learners, but the educators as well.
Definitely.
I'm jealous that I'm not full-time in a class to use this technology that's available.
Okay, thank you so much, Johan, for having
Thanks for visiting us.
It was lovely chatting to you. Now, Elaine, you were obviously involved with the whole process with EduBoard. Now, I want to know, was training provided by EduBoard for these LED panels? And if it was, did it help you?
Yes, training was provided, very intense training, very sufficient. We had it over a couple of weeks. So in between we had some time to go and play on the system and on all the tools, and we could go back and ask questions that's relevant to our subject and that we wanted to know. So yes, very, very nice.
Okay, and what would you say are some of your favorite features on the hardware as well as the software?
Sure, that's difficult. I really like everything and I use everything and I played with everything, but if I have to choose, I would say Mozabook is my favorite, because you can take a very ordinary lesson and make it extraordinary.
Yeah.
So that's very nice.
Okay, now you are a science and technology teacher. Do you feel that the EduTouch LED panel as well as the software has helped you save time when it came to preparing your lessons?
Oh, for sure. It's very sufficient. Like, for example, when we started with EduBoard, I was busy with circuits, electric circuits, and it was just so easy to go in Mozabooks, explain to the kids how it works, how it looks, how you need to draw it. So much easier than to go and look for something or search for something that you can use.
Do you think you can show us a little bit of what you're talking about?
I played on it a bit, so I've made my own book. That's where I'm very proud of it.
Okay.
So I'll quickly show you. Like I said, we were busy with electric circuits and Afrikaans stroombaan diagramme. So we did the basics of a circuit and I showed the kids how you can make a circuit or how it look in real life. And then also if you need to draw it with the correct science way, then I can show them how each symbol looks and I can even show them how to put the circuit on and off. So very sufficient.
Okay. Now I'm going to put one of you on the spot. Do you think one of you can come up and show us how this works?
I think Jaden can come and show us a bit. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Druk weer onder. Wat was het? Ja, dat is well done. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you,
Jaden.
Now, Elaine, I see you have what they call the visualizer here on your desk. Do you think you can tell me how it works and just some of the functions that it has?
The visualizer is quite amazing. It's got a lot of functions. So I can use it on my desk and I can go into a textbook that the kids got and I can expand and show them some detail that I'm busy with. It's a webcam and it's also got a camera in it. Goed, okay, so hier is ons nou op Microsoft Teams en ek gee lesie in die klas langs aan. Dat ek vir julle kan wys hoe werk 'n stroombaan. Daar kan ons stroombaan aan en afsit. Ja, ons kan 'n gonser insit, ons kan die gonser uithaal en nog 'n gloeilamp insit, ammeter uithaal en ons kan wys hoe lyk in die regte lewe en hoe gaan jy die stroombaan dan ook teken.
Han, you are obviously very involved when it came to the decision making with regards to what type of solution you wanted to incorporate within your classrooms. Now, what would you say were your concerns regarding going for the interactive LED panel for your classrooms?
Hello, yes, thanks. I think firstly, our main concern was that the teachers, the more experienced teachers that using whiteboards and blackboards, that they will embrace this new way of technology. And then the other thing was the durability about the boards.
EduBoard was able to address these issues for you.
Yes, of course. I think with the programs that they came here to launch at the school, with the new installations, all those things, that was really nice. All the teachers, they want to work on it now because of the programs that's installed.
And from a teacher's perspective, how would you say EduBoard has benefited you as a teacher as well as your students?
I think, like, for me as a geography teacher, it just brings the whole world into my my classroom, if I can say. The children love it. They want to come to school. I can see it with my own 2 children. With the durability about the board, I can show you, like, they showed me that it's durable. So with all those things, it just helped me. And the children, with the new programs, like with the Octopus game zones, you can bring games into your class. The children can enjoy it. So there's a lot of things that you can really do, and the children love it. Like some of the students told me, now school is for the first time fun.
So now I heard from EduBoard that they offer training as well to schools that purchase their hardware as well as their software. Do you think you can show us a little bit of what you've learned from them?
Yes, it's okay. You throw me in the deep sea now, but like, okay, like for me, what's really nice is that because like of the children in your classroom and that we're using the Microsoft Teams, I can basically capture all my things. So I can just open it, and then I can start recording, and in that, I can go like the new also programs on the EduBoards is that Mozart books that you can enter, and then here you can enter and you can write and you can do everything on your board, and after that, and you can incorporate like some basically from the Mozart books also a 3D. You can get a lot of things out of this, and the children really enjoys it because like you can stand here and you can just type on a 3D model. They like the interactivity, they like to watch it, it's like really, and here's the video that's playing. So yeah, you can make it bigger, that's all over the board. So it's really, the children love everything that you, and here's just the Black Plague that we're doing over the thing. So it's like, and then there's animation, there's quizzes that you can do. So it's really, it's quite nice. And yeah, so just going to stop this one now. Yeah, so and like from here on, with the if I want to, I can go back to my my recording, like here, and I can stop it, and after that I can just quickly go into the edit on the program itself, and from here on you can enter and you just drag it in here, and from there on you just go and you can. It's really
yeah.
See, if you know how to use it and start using it, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing that I installed on all our panels is the Remote 6. So with the Remote 6, basically, the principle, I can just access all the panels, and from there on, you can just make announcements like here, like this now. The second break will be 5 minutes later because of the video recording that we have now, and so it's just it's much easier on that, where you can do, like instance, you can have access to all the things. You can help the teachers uploading files. You can help them with access on your settings program. So it's really nice so that you can just do that, and you can just help offline. I can sit in my house just as long as I have internet access to do this and help them with that. So yeah, it's quite nice.
And finally, we have Jeffro Jeanette. She's an absolute lovely teacher. I just had a conversation with her before her interview, and I'm looking forward to hear what she has to say about this new technology. Come with me. Now, Jeffro Jeanette, you've obviously been introduced to a new type of technology and it's on a new level. How would you describe your initial feelings when the school told you that you'll be using this type of technology?
Tori, as ek eerlik moet wees, was dit vir my die wonderlikste gevoel om te dink dat ek aan 'n tegnologie wêreld blootgestel gaan word. In Engels sê hulle altyd, you are very privileged, en dit is presies hoe ek daaroor gevoel het. Dit was vir my ongelooflik lekker om te dink ek is deel daarvan.
And as an experienced teacher, would you say you experienced any difficulties using this type of technology? And if you did, how are you solving these problems?
Ja, ek is bly oor die experienced teacher. Is dalk seker die ouer juffrou. Maar ja, ek was nie bang daarvoor nie, want ek gebruik tegnologie vir al my beplanning, my voorbereiding. As leier van die groep is ek ook die juffrou wat altyd iets nuuts uit tegnologie gaan haal. Ek was nie bang daarvoor nie, maar wat ek wel wil sê, die wonderlikste was toe ek die geleentheid kry om opgelei te word deur oulike mense soos wat julle vir ons saamgebring het. Dit het vir my absoluut die wêreld oopgemaak en ek was baie bang. Maar elke keer het ek net daai bietjie meer selfvertroue gekry en ek het 'n hengse verrassing aan die einde van die dag wat ek vir Bianca wil vertel.
And what would you say are some of your favorite features when it comes to the hardware as well as the software that they've introduced you to?
Ek dink die bord alleen is al klaar 'n verskriklike groot verskil want ons kinders wat ons het is baie visueel ingestel. Ek glo kinders dat hulle nog ronde oogies het is eintlik vir my snaaks. Ek dink hulle moes al almal vierkantige oogies gehad het. Maar daar is soveel fasette wat vir my baie interessant is en maar vir my in graad 1 is daar spesifiekes wat ek gaan gebruik. Ek het 2 boeke gemaak. 2, Bianca. 2. Jy moet so trots wees op my. Maar ek wil hierdie boek vir julle wys. Ek is net baie haastig. Julle, hierdie was my dit was my nemesis, maar daar het ons dit. So die eerste wat ons gedoen het is ons begin met of-woorde. Die enetjie het ons by pop. En toe ek nou my icon gaan insit, daar is my pop. En ek gaan vir hulle die liedjie speel van Lindy Roo se Die Lappop. Nou wil sê net om dit vir julle lekker te maak vandag, mag julle gou na hierdie liedjie luister. Is dit nie amazing nie? Ek was buite myself. Toe ek hierdie nou net so 'n bietjie. Is dit nie mooi nie? Ag, ek was so in my knope. En ek het by elke bladsy gesorg dat ek iets ouliks het wat ek kan. En dan het ek by het ek nou van die nek en daar sit ek 'n hen en daar sit ek vir 'n klein en die storieetjies was ek het alles gekies wat so onder 2.5 was, maar die mooiste vir my was dat ek die klakking hens op hierdie kon vaskry. Weet jy wat, omdat ons kinders nie op plase groot word nie, het ek net gedink, wow, is dit nie so cool nie? En hier sit hulle in die bos, ek gaan vir hulle sê, maak toe julle oogies, ons sit op die plaas, onder 'n boom, luister of jy die hoenders kan hoor. Is dit nie? Dit is amazing. Jy sê ek love it. Hierdie was net vir my, dit was skitterend. Ja, en so het ek nou maar aangegaan, op elke bladsy sal jy ietsie kry.
Thanks, that was awesome. Thanks, Bianca.
No problem at all.
Thanks very much. Listen, guys, at this stage, I'd like us to bring on the guys from Kruinsig. So if I can just introduce them, we're going to bring in the principal, Dr. Johan Krier, and then Johan Leroux, who's an HOD, he managed the project, and then Jeanette Deisel will just share one or two things with us. Guys, if you can just switch your camera on for us and your sound there.
Morning, guys.
Welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on and taking some time to chat to us. We've got 1 or 2 questions for you. We won't keep you long. I know you guys are busy at school at the moment. All the kids are back. So the first question I have is for Dr. Johan. Can I just ask you, sir, it's a massive project for the school. Why did you decide to go this route?
Thanks for having us on this program or this project of yours. You must use every crisis to your advantage. So when this COVID came in, we realized we have a responsibility towards our kids, responsibility to our community. We can't sit back and hope something will happen somewhere along the line. Ons moet iets doen. And therefore, we went down and had a chat with the HEB, looked into different options, and then we started introducing, first of all, teams, and then we went a step further to introduce the digital world to the learners and the educators through EduBoard.
Yes, no, thanks. That's and then tell me, Dr. Creer, what was the long-term value that you were looking for with these boards?
Remember, we as educators need to prepare our children for a future we don't know. Now, next to COVID-19, I think the other buzzword is the 4th industrial revolution. Our kids understand the world of technology, and to keep them interested in what happens in the classroom, you need to move towards their world. Ons wil nie net talk and talk nie. The kids need to be active. They need to. We prepare them for their world, not the world that we understand.
Yes.
So that's the long-term plan that we have, is to have them in a world of technology, IT technology.
No, I agree with you. That's wise words there. I'm actually going to jump over. Derek, can I maybe ask you a question from EduBoard here? You could have quoted the school on many different options. What made this option the best choice?
I think, Kevin, we did offer a couple of options that we quoted on more for comparative purposes, but I think really at the end of the day, there's a combination of key factors that would determine the correct equipment that would apply to any school. And I think it's really a combination of obviously budgetary factors, availability of finance, also the outcomes that the school and the teachers and the learners want to achieve at the end of the day, and how they want to achieve that is very important to all stakeholders. Also, some level of future-proofing. I say future-proofing. These days, obviously, more difficult to achieve. But I think with LED panels, it is definitely that longevity. 10, 15 years compared to older technologies is what's definitely a factor here as well. Usability. The user confidence techno level of teachers. What is their comfort level? We had to look at there as well. And also, I think from the school's perspective is a markability aspect as well, in terms of profiling themselves out there. So when we combined all those factors together, it came towards the LED panels compared to any of the other equipment that we quoted on.
Okay, no, thanks, Derek. And then I've got a question here for Johan Leroux. And he's the HOD there. He managed the project there. This couldn't have been an easy project to manage. What was the biggest technical challenge that you guys faced, and how did you get around that?
I think for the technical problems around the EduBoard, there were no problems. But to get the teacher's mind shift towards the new technology of the new way, that was a bigger problem for us and for me. From EduBoard side, there were basically no technical problems. I think it was just to get the SUB involved and to get all the teachers involved so that we can go into this new way of teaching. That was our biggest problem. So,
okay, all right. No, thanks. And then Jeanette, I see you sitting there in the middle. I've got a question here for you. And this one says over here, as a teacher, now I've just listened to what Johannes now said. When you get given this new technology, do you get trained on using this stuff?
Yes, we received excellent training for 4 consecutive weeks from EduBoard in the afternoons by the well-skilled and animated Bianca Molgas. And during our training, we were exposed to outstanding software that we can use
with EduBoard.
Oh, great. That's good. And then what's your favorite part of the software?
After the video, I think it's very difficult to single one out. The software makes me very excited, like a little child in a sweets factory. I often use Note and Octopus, but after I've grasped Moza books, as you've seen, I can definitely add that to my list of favorites as well.
Okay, no, that's great. Listen, the guys at Cranesec, I wish we had more time. I've got so many questions here, so many Q&As. I actually want to ask you so many of them, but for time's sake, I'm going to have to move back over to Derek. Derek, a final question for you. If schools want more help, more info, maybe they need help convincing the SGB that this is something that the school does want, maybe you can help the school. How do you help them? And then just maybe mention some of your lines, den pitches, the things that you guys are doing in the show during the course of this week.
Certainly. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, unfortunately, we ran out a bit of time there, but I think the message came across very nicely in the video. You know, from our perspective, it's really important to have all the stakeholders involved in the project and to make sure they're happy and understand the process forward. And I think I just want to mention that from Cranesec's perspective, they've been an incredible school to work with. I think their whole ethos, their leadership, from teacher level to the HODs to the SGBs, has been absolutely phenomenal. So thanks so much, Cranesec team. You've been a wonderful crowd to work with, and we look forward to a great future with you on that. But just to finish off, yeah, I think if anybody wants to contact us, we are doing other workshops and roundtables during the day. If you look at the agenda, we also are doing giveaways of vouchers. We've got 20 times 5,000 Rand vouchers, so it's 100,000 Rands worth of vouchers that we are sponsoring for people that are wanting to buy a 65-inch panel. They can use that against the purchase of that. We also are doing another talk later this afternoon. Bianca Malgas will be giving that, specifically more on the software and the technologies that we offer. That'll be at this afternoon. I think it's at about 4:20, somewhere around there. And we've got two other roundtables. Galen, my director partner as well, will be giving a talk on how to get the bucks for your school. And that is at 11:45 this morning. So please join in on those sessions. You're welcome to engage with us on the platform in all its forms. I think it's been a wonderful platform, and kudos to the Schoolscape team. It's been an incredible project to put together, and I think so far it's working really well. So yeah, you can get us on our website as well, which is www.eduboard.co.za. Engage with us on any of the multimedia and social media platforms as well.
No,
but thanks so much for this opportunity, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the other side.
Yeah, Derek, before you run there, I just wanted to say first, Dr. Krier and the team there at Cranesec, you guys heard lots about the school. I know the school well. It's a very good school. And I think other schools seeing what you guys have done, it's encouraging. And thank you very much for coming on. And then just before you run, Derek, I've actually got a question here from somebody that says, can you mirror a mobile device to the EduBoard? Is that something you can do?
Sure, yeah, that is a great question. Some of the questions we couldn't answer earlier would incorporate. We offered about 6 or 7 different software programs as part of the complete package, and one of them is called Connect, and that allows either a teacher or students to be able to share their mobile devices screen to the board. Not only that, they can share documents, upload stuff, use their camera as a document camera onto the board. So yeah, there's multiple options for both teacher and students to collaborate with the system in its entirety. So I think we've covered with this particular solution, top of the range stuff with Cranesec. I think we capture all possible opportunities for all engagement, even remote learning opportunities as well, to push lessons to students at home. Not just in the class as well. So yeah, covered all bases.
No, thanks very much, EduBoard, and thank you, Cranesec, very much. I'm actually going to hand back to Pete now, and then Pete, you can take it from here.
Thanks very much. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Peter Morgan is muted.
Sorry, that was a schoolboy error of note. My apology, I was muted. So thank you, EduBoard, and thank you, Kreinsig. I think Kreinsig, what you've done is absolutely phenomenal. I know you are also literally around the corner from Faramir School, so it's great having Kevin interviewing you there. So we have a little bit of comedy now. Followed by that, we're going to go into EduBoard, into the Lions Den pictures. So as you know, we really believe one of the things that makes our events exciting is adding a little bit of inspiration and a little bit of magic. So shortly, I'm going to show another clip from Peter G, who sent through another clip for us, which is absolutely amazing. But before I do that, I just wanted to let all the schools know by attending this event, you actually get CPTD points. You get SACE points for just attending. What you need to do is log and register those. And we have the team from Get SACE Points on standby. So if you're on your phone or if you're on your computer, if you click on Exhibitor and search Get SACE Points, one of the company that shows up is our official SACE Points partner, and they will help you when it comes to registering your points. So please jump over to them, ask them to help you, and you get points for just being here. All right, I am now going to hand over to Peter G for another rather entertaining clip. So please bear with me as I share my screen. Oh, we are having a technical difficulty. There we go. I think you should be, oh, sorry. Pulling it up here. There we go. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello to all the teachers watching this video. The lockdown is tough, eh? We've got 2 children at home. And I think a good thing from this lockdown is people appreciate teachers way more. I mean, we've got 2 children and we decided we don't want children anymore. And they're actually taking the news quite badly. But as a magician, I'm so scared that my wife is going to wake up out of this hypnosis. But times is tough, eh? Times is really, really tough. I mean, we're so poor now, we sometimes go to KFC to lick other people's fingers. And I set my alarm at 3 o'clock in the morning to go bark outside that the neighbor thinks we've got dogs. But I mean, how can they ban alcohol? In Afrikaans sê hulle die enigste plek waar ek nog hoendervleis kry is Nando's. I mean, times is tough. I don't have alcohol. I've got children at home. The only thing I have left is Coca-Cola. So, as a magician, I'm going to make this Coca-Cola disappear. You will see that the Coca-Cola is gone. And I can actually bring it back. No, I can't do that. I'm not that great of a magician. But what I can do is I can take out a glass of water and fold up this bottle. The lockdown mentally can mess you up. But look at the glass half full. I know times is tough, but the magic is up here. Thank you.
Absolutely gets me every time. That is why I enjoy Peter G, and I think he packs a good point. I think this has been a tough time for absolutely everyone, and we really are amazed at what you as schools have done. I think you are literally making magic happen every day. So we've got a couple of companies now that we expect will help make magic happen in your school. So every day we are doing a Lion's Den pitch. Based on the idea of a Dragon's Den, these companies each have 7 minutes. And the aim in these 7 minutes is to share with you how they can help you as a school. So we have purposely chosen companies that can help you as school IT decision makers. So first up, we have Advantage Learn. So I am going to invite James Lease on stage. James, you should be able to pop on now as a panelist. As soon as you're on, please turn on your video. Let's see. So Advantage Learn, I think the thing that really stands out to me about Advantage Learn is they are literally working with some of the best schools in the country. So James, please turn your video on, and you have 7 minutes to share about what you can do for schools. Welcome on board.
Thanks, Peter, and yeah, thank you for having me. I know I don't have much time, so I'm going to just kick off by sharing screen, and so I can get onto my slide share there. So Peter, I'd appreciate if you can let me know if you can see it.
Yep, we got it. It's there and live. Thank you.
All right, great. Hi, everyone. It's James here from Advantage Learn. As Peter mentioned, thanks so much for your time. I know I don't have much. I'm coming to you live from Glenwood, Durban, and I'm representing AdvantageLearn.com. And so when I was planning this pitch, I thought, you know, my hat goes off to all schools and all professionals at schools that have been through this period. It's really been an incredibly challenging, and I'm hoping in some ways fruitful period with the learnings that have occurred. But we've seen such great resolve and solutions coming through. So well done to all of you. But one of the things that many of you might not know about Advantage Learn is we actually never set out to provide innovative learning solutions for high schools online. We actually just started out trying to help schools with advanced program mathematics. Now, advanced program mathematics is a difficult subject to learn, and it's a difficult subject to teach. And so one of the key constraints is the availability of an educator with that skill set. And we really set out to solve that problem. But when we did, we ran into the same problem where we had to find educators to help us to essentially help schools to deliver advanced program mathematics. And that led us into starting the journey of trying to build something that was more scalable, and so that access could be given to many more educators in schools around the country. And that led us to trying to deliver online learning. And so we started that journey around 4 to 5 years ago. And we've had some significant learnings over that time. And I can only imagine that schools that have been forced through this period into ERT and online learning as the schools have shut, that you have gone through similar learnings. And so what were these top 2 challenges and learnings? These were split into two parts. 1, content, and 2, delivery. Content is extremely challenging. We take it for granted that we can produce content so quickly at our fingertips using smartphones and tablet computers and the computers that we have. But producing content in a smart, structured, and manageable way is a whole nother challenge in itself. And over these past 4 years, we really have experienced that challenge of trying to produce a base layer of content that can be utilized and leveraged over many years into the future. And we expect that you as IT professionals and as schools and as educators are going to run into the same thoughts and questions and challenges around content. How can we not only produce for a moment in time, but produce for the future? And then once we kind of started to solve that challenge and were improving it over the last few years, we then ran into the challenge of how do we deliver that content? And that opened a whole nother can of worms. And at the time, we were getting quotes from people who were quoting us to deliver the learning solutions maybe 3 times or 2 times our revenue line at that time. And so we really had an extreme challenge there. And so we started the journey into trying to do that ourselves. And the delivery of content is also very, 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 very difficult and challenging, even at this point in time when there's such a provision of tools and methods that we have at our disposal at this moment. Google Classroom, Moodle Cloud, we've got lots of different ways that we can do it. It's still very, very challenging. And so at Advantage Learn, what we've aimed to do is we've aimed to try and solve those challenges for schools, specifically in an area of expertise that we are very, very passionate about, and that's mathematics. And so we produced the grade 8 to 12 maths content in really structured and helpful short videos that allow educators and students to study the full curriculum either outside the classroom or for educators to leverage it in the classroom. And so we've done that in a managed and structured way, and we've essentially solved that hard question of how do we get the maths content online. And then secondly, we've then poured a lot of resource and time into delivering this content in a helpful fashion. And that never stops for us. We try to improve this and continue it over many, many different iterations and features. And that is over our high touch platform. And so how we think we can help schools is specifically in the space around delivering maths learning that enhances and and goes further than the classroom through our Maths Online solution. And many of you might know us for utilizing Maths Online over the lockdown, maybe, or for the NBT preparation courses that we run. But that is what I wanted to share with you this morning. We are doing a roundtable workshop at 11:30 today, so please do join us for that. And if you do want to connect with me, I've got my details up there. Please, we've paid many school fees over this journey, and we, for lack of a better phrase, we don't want you to do the same, so do reach out. And I've just noted some logos there that might spark some little thoughts around technologies that you're trying to use at this moment that we are already experienced in and help schools with. So if you notice any there that you think you need help with, do reach out. But that's it for me, Peter. Thank you.
Brilliant. James, thank you. You can stop sharing your screen. I'll do that now quickly. Sure. There we go. You are back. Thank you so much. I think if anyone wants more, please go to the community tab and you can jump onto their session. You can also, so that's their meetup, which is a smaller conversation. You can also, if you would like to, go visit them at their exhibitor booth. So James, thank you. We appreciate you being with us. We are now going to invite up our next speaker. So coming up is going to be Alistair Payne from Cloud Edu. This is literally one of our favorite top-rated companies to work with. They have done some incredible stuff with helping schools. They are also all ex-teachers themselves. So Alistair was at school, so he understands the pain and what you are going through. So Alistair, welcome. The floor is yours.
Good, Peter, I trust that you can hear me before I get going.
Yes.
And then no one hears me. Okay, good. I'll share my screen very shortly. A very warm welcome to all of you from a very chilly Cape Town. For those of you that are based in Cape Town, you'll know we've had a deluge over the last couple of days. Thank you very much to Peter and the team for the opportunity for this opportunity, and to you guys, thank you for the opportunity of just the next 7 minutes of your attention. By way of introduction to myself, I'm Alistair Payne. As Peter has said, I'm a previous educator in a previous life, almost 20 years in education as an IT manager, as a classroom teacher, and as a deputy headmaster. And I started the business, one of the co-founders of Cloud Education Solutions, or Cloud EDU, back in 2014. We're a South African-based edtech company, and essentially at the end of the day, we partner with schools across the country and the region to increase adoption and to increase integration of technology within school environments. We're experts in the G Suite environment and all things Google. We're a Google for Education partner. And we offer a variety of different services to schools, whether it be from a deployment and a technical perspective and onboarding schools into the G Suite environment and getting them familiar and training them up, to systematic and engaging professional development, to hardware. And the focus of the next couple of minutes is going to be around the hardware side of things, and in particular Chromebooks, and why Chromebooks are the right device for education. Before I get started, I thought it might be interesting just to share some of the updated numbers coming out of Google. For those of you that are G Suite, and you may be very familiar with G Suite right now, pre-COVID, January 2020, there were 100 million users across the world using G Suite for education, which is staggering in and of itself, but that increased by 40 million users over the COVID period. And again, that probably doesn't come as a surprise. When it comes to Google Classroom, it increased from 60 million users worldwide to just over 100 million users. Again, staggering numbers. Chromebooks, they've increased to almost 40 million people using Chromebooks in education across the world, which is quite staggering numbers. As I said, the focus for this morning is going to be around the Chromebook. For those of you that are unfamiliar with a Chromebook, I suppose the best starting question then is, what is a Chromebook? A Chromebook is essentially a lightweight and a durable laptop that has been designed for students and the education environment. So it's traditional in its form factor. It looks and feels like a traditional laptop. It has a screen, it has a keyboard, great small case keys for the junior schools, and a mouse pad to go with that. But it can quite easily then be flipped into a tablet mode and be used for video content creation and the likes. So it is very much like a traditional laptop, but it is built for and durable for the education environment. It starts up in less than 10 seconds. This is one of the tenets that Google have put into place for the entire lifetime of the device, which tends to be up to about 6 or 7 years of the device. It has to boot within less than 10 seconds. So on day one, when you take it out of the box, boots in 10 seconds. Day whatever, after 6 years, it boots up in 10 seconds, even when it's updating. On top of that, it has a battery life that lasts a day. Even our entry-level models have got a 10-hour battery life. It is a device that has been designed to be simple, affordable, secure, and shareable. It then comes without surprise that across the world, since 2012, when Google and Chromebooks had 0% of the education market, that has grown to today, where about 68% of all educational devices in America and Canada are now Chromebooks. And that model, that pattern has been rolling out across the world, which is very exciting. What are the key differentiators? If it looks and feels like a normal laptop, what are some of the key differentiators? As I've mentioned, it's simple, affordable, secure, and shareable. Simple because it's easily opened up. It starts very quickly. In the classroom environment, when it comes to technology, you do not want technology to be number one in the classroom. That means that teachers are not IT technicians. They don't want to be fiddling and changing and fixing things. Chromebooks open up, and they work out of the box, and they're simple and they're easy. Whether you're controlling 10 or 10,000 devices, it is through the unique cloud-based management console that you can make this a very simple rollout. They're affordable. Again, Rand dollar is not helping us at the moment, but when it comes to affordability, our starting point on a Chromebook is about 5,500 and goes up from there. But it's not just the cost of the device which allows you to get best bang for your buck, but it is also the ability to deploy these devices and the ease of management that comes with these devices. That means that when it comes to total cost of ownership, it is an affordable device and an environment to run. It's secure. From a Google perspective, they've got 24/7 support behind that. The upgrades are happening in the background. As I said, even when you're upgrading your device and you restart it, the start time is 10 seconds, but it has multi-layers of security. In a school environment, you want your kids to be safe online, and the Chromebook has that in place. No antivirus available on it. And then it's shareable. And this is probably one of the greatest differentiators. If you're a school that are just investing in a bank of devices, in 30 devices, and you want to go the bank of devices to go from class to class, that's simply done. Kids will be able to log in and log out, and the environment is unique and secure for them. When you combine that with the Chrome upgrade license, that is a way of controlling 10,000 devices, not just one device. As you know, in an education environment, when you've got lots of devices, it gets challenging. The upgrade license goes with it. The upgrade license gives you something like 200 plus customizable policies, and I've just highlighted some of those in the couple of minutes that I have remaining. From a user perspective, you can push out applications. You don't have to walk around installing applications. You can control the proxy. You can control the hardware. You can control the user experience. As soon as the child opens up, the environment is ready to run. That all comes from the Chrome upgrade license. From a device perspective, you can specify who can log in. If you're at a school, call yourselves example.com. You can put that domain name in, so only students and users from your school environment can log into the device. You can brick the device, you can lock it, brick it anywhere in the world so that no one else can use it. You can have auto domain complete and a whole bunch of other device-based features with it. When it comes to the device itself, you can pull serial numbers, enrollments, and when the device was last synced. As you can see, a really simple, easy environment where the device becomes number 2 in the classroom. And then in closing, a lot of our schools are going to one-to-one, where every child is getting a device, and that is a daunting step. There are a whole lot of hurt and pain potentially that you can be pulled down on your shoulders. And we've worked with schools to build a one-to-one device fulfillment portal, where the ownership of the device is on the parent, but the school dictates a unified or uniform platform. We provide a unique URL for the school. In this case, it's demo2.chromestore.co.za. When you log on, the parent logs on using a unique URL. The branding, even the badge, that's number one, is specific to the school. This is a screenshot of one of the portals. When the parent then logs in, there is a customizable landing page with your own artwork and your own message at the bottom. The devices that are then in the portal are specific to the school. You can specify 1 or 2 devices. The parent is then able to purchase the device, and we handle the purchasing side of things. In many cases, we've got schools that have got bundles where they put the whole lot together: the device, the Chrome upgrade license, filtering, a mobile guardian on top of that, and white label deployment. We then take care of and make sure that the device is delivered to you as a school. So thank you very much for your time. I hope, Peter, I was under the 7 minutes. I did time myself. If you require any information, we are on the directory, and there's a link there, bit.ly link for you to get some more information. But thank you very much, Peter, to you and your team for the opportunity.
Brilliant. That is absolute. Alistair, quick question for you.
Sure.
How many schools have you rolled out with Chromebooks in the last couple of months? Just a rough number. And while you are answering, Gary and Deslin, if you would like to come on stage.
Sure. So, Peter, we've obviously got a number of clients that are doing sort of banks of devices. When it comes to one-to-one, we have 15 to 20 schools that are now in the one-to-one space that are that we're working with directly to bring out devices. When you say the last couple of months, that's not the buying cycle. The buying cycle generally is around December and January. And what we offer to schools is guaranteed delivery and bulk pricing. And that's very critical. So our big deployments are around December mostly, because many schools want their devices to be ready for January, and delivering them on the first day of school is never a good opportunity. So we're actually building up towards a big buying cycle. We buy that hardware directly from overseas. Yeah.
Cool. Alistair, thank you. Always a privilege having you on stage. Gary and Deslin, if you would like to pop your videos on. So Gary is from Argantic, and they have a wide variety of ways they can help schools with hardware and software. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Gary. Gary, just remember to unmute, and the stage is yours.
Hi, Peter. Can you hear me?
Yeah, got you loud and clear.
And can you see my presentation?
Yes, got it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. The storm that Alistair alluded to has now arrived where I live in Knysna, and it does have an impact on my internet from time to time. So just let me know if I disappear. Deslin is available as backup in case I happen to disappear from the screen. But thank you very much for the opportunity, everybody. Argantic is a company that's been around for a while. My name is Gary Ackerman. I'm a director and founder of the company, along with my partner, Richard Shaw. We've dedicated ourselves to assisting customers with migration to the cloud, and then helping them with the management of the tools and the platforms that are available to them once they're there. We are primarily a Microsoft-focused company, and as a result of that, one of the central components of what we're dealing with is Microsoft Teams. As Alistair alluded to with the Google platform, there's been massive growth in anything cloud over the last few months for obvious reasons. And this is good news for the modernization of applications and methodologies that schools are having to use. We are gold in most in some of the competencies around the cloud elements. And as a result, we're uniquely positioned to assist schools when it comes to the modernization of their environments, and including the security and application layers in their business. We weren't exactly born in the cloud, but we've been living there for most of the time. So as a result, we've had to eat our own dog food, as people call it, for a long, long time. We have absolutely nothing on-prem. And it might strike a few people as a little surprising, but when the lockdown occurred in March, we just continued operating from home like nothing had happened. Obviously, the human touch has disappeared, and we are looking forward to being able to interact with our colleagues again very soon. But from an operational perspective, internally and both with our customers, we were able to help many, many schools to get onto the Microsoft Cloud platform and start to use Microsoft Teams. We offer services across the board, and I'll get into some of those a little bit more specifically as we speak. But we focus primarily on the Microsoft stack, with the exception of the Dynamics platform. That's a little beyond us for now, and we'll get into that probably some stage in the future. Between Richard and myself, we have very long-standing operations and sales reputations in the Microsoft and IT industries in South Africa. We are a specialist around licensing, and I don't know if a lot of schools know this, but Office 365 A1 licensing is available free of charge to every educational institution in the world. Will give you the entire Office 365 backend platform, from the security layer through Teams, through the online Office package, SharePoint, and a whole host of other applications for you to be able to use in your school. We can assist you with getting that sorted out, and also to assist with the migration of any data that might need to be hosted on that platform. We're fairly agnostic. We do realize that a lot of schools have actually invested in other technologies, but Microsoft has been very friendly, especially around their security layers, of being able to accommodate a variety of different platforms, especially LMSs, on the Office 365 environment. There is an element called SDS, Student Data Sync, that will allow you to elegantly replicate the data in your admin system into the Office 365 Azure Active Directory elements as well. Core to our operations is an engineering team that is very experienced in assisting with migrations and getting the Office 365 environment set up. We have special skills in Azure Active Directory and Exchange, and since we've been using the E5 license SKU ourselves for a long time, we are very skilled in making all of these elements work for our customers. Teams is obviously central to a lot of conversations, and I believe Microsoft is approaching 900 million users on this platform. That's both commercial and education, but it's a rather huge leap in usage, and it actually in the early days caused a couple of problems from a technology perspective, as you can imagine. But it's fully active and very functional at the moment. The slide you're seeing at the moment deals particularly with the collaboration aspects of Teams, because this is particular to most commercial and school-based organizations, but from an operational perspective. That's about meetings and about interacting with people on a business or an organizational level. But the part that is very topical is the Teams and education elements, and Microsoft has done a huge amount of work to make sure that the education components in Teams are very topical and relevant to schools in the modern era. And as a result, their integrations are all up to scratch, and it is the biggest element in Microsoft's growth was particularly around the education realm. We are very keen to assist schools that want to go this route to make use of these tools to assist with teacher education. We have a dedicated lady by the name of Karen that is an ex-teacher as well, that is very good at assisting teachers with dealing with what could be seen as the technicalities of this platform. One of the favorite elements of Teams that we really like is the ability to use Teams as your telephone system. This has been very topical and one of our most popular offerings over the COVID timeframe, because we found with a lot of schools that while the back-end systems were quite technology adept, their phone system was born in the 1980s. And as a result, the ability to extend the phone system to the users of that phone system was very limited. Teams calling allowed us to extend the phone system through a familiar platform to those teachers and administrators alike, and allow them to continue using it beyond the lockdown timeframe. And in fact, we're doing quite a few of these deployments. They are very popular. The Power Platform is something that comes along with the A1. It gives you a free version of Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and SharePoint. And between those four elements, you can build very sophisticated applications around business automation et al. And can be used in the classroom or in the administration sense as well. And we have the skills around this to be able to assist you to build these. The Power Apps will run both on Android and iOS and on Windows. One of the last elements that we've invested in and has become insanely popular amongst our commercial customers is the modern application development. And in this sense, what we do is we have the skills to be able to develop applications on the Azure platform. So it encompasses the whole as a service component. So database as a service, web app as a service. We assist customers with the migration to Azure and hosting of their applications on a modern platform. As everyone knows, it's about a year ago that Microsoft, I think they were very close to opening their local data centers. And since they have a data center now in both Cape Town and Johannesburg, this has become very popular as a platform for modern and sophisticated applications, both in education and in commerce.
Gary, just to let you know, that is time if you want to give some closing remarks.
Closing remarks. So this is some of the schools that we deal with, and you'll see we deal with both K-12 right through higher education and some of the entities that are peripheral to the education sphere, like SACE and the Department of Higher Education and Training. And that was timed perfectly. Thank you very much, everybody, for the opportunity to present to you today. I would say to you, if you have any questions and you want to explore any element of what I've discussed or anything in the Microsoft sphere that you could be interested in, please do not hesitate to give me a call or send us an email. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Gary, thank you. That was perfect timing. For any of the schools, you can also jump onto the exhibitor profile, literally on your phone app, or if you live on the computer, there's a tab that says exhibitor, and you can then just look for Argantic, ARGANTIC. And then we are, so Gary, thank you. We appreciate you coming live. I'm now going to invite the team, Rajesh from Resolute Robotics on, but before I do that, at the end of Rajesh's session, we are going to give away a 1,000 Rand Take-A-Lot voucher from Sonic Wall for one of our live attendees that are on at the moment. So please wait for that. And there we go. I see Rajesh. Gary, I am just going to remove you from screen. All right. Cheers, Gary. Brilliant. Rajesh. So Rajesh is from Resolute Robotics. I think at the moment, one of the words that is buzzing around is all things robotics. We recently did such an engaging webinar with Rajesh and the team. So let me not say any more. Let me rather just hand over directly to you. The floor is yours.
Cool. Thank you so much, Peter. Hello, everyone, all the way from Pretoria. It's not Cape Town, but I guess we're closer to the Kruger. Can you guys see, can you guys screen my screen? Or is it a bit cut off?
It seems to be a bit cut off.
Okay, hold on. Let me just try that again. I hope this isn't going.
No, that's showing not that one.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me move the screens around and share it. Give me 1 second, guys. I hope this isn't in my 7 minutes.
That's fine. Rajesh, while you are sorting that out, take your time. I'm just going to mention the announcement I was going to do at the end. So get your screen, share your screen, go for it. Oh, there we go. It's perfect. Don't do anything.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go for it. All yours.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Sorry for the technical difficulty. And thank you so much, Peter, for the introduction. So my name is Rajesh. I am from Resolute Robotics. And one of our favorite quotes is, one machine can do the work of 50 ordinary men, and no machine can do the work of one extraordinary man. So I think we're really excited about the prospect of where we're heading with this. I think during the times of where we're living in the past 6 months, you would have been familiar with a lot of these terms. And one of my favorite being, I'm going to share my screen right now, and can you see my screen? And I am really hoping that right now you guys can follow me and follow the screen as well. And nothing is different when it comes to our tech space. Some of these terminologies are used so often for our robotics, machine learning, Arduinos. And so our whole aim is, how do we create a sustainable and cost-effective robotics program for schools, and how do we foster an excitement in kids at a younger age for tech-based learning as well. And so the journey started for me. I did electronic engineering at Tux, and Those 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of my life was some of the most stressful times, and it was extremely overwhelming being underprepared for this degree. And so being an education enthusiast, having taught in the public school as well for a year, I was like, how do I bring about a robotics curriculum? How do we teach the skills? And the skills that people think are so complicated that only can be introduced to students at a university stage. But how do we bring that in from grade 1 into grade 4, into grade 7, and how do we help kids make the right decisions by the time they apply for university? And that's where our field of expertise lies. So our team consists of a team of experts from Tux and Witz's engineering faculty. And as you can see, there I am. We're also head up by Adam Pantanovitz, who is very big in the field of bioengineering as well. And yeah, to start off with any robotics program that a school needs to implement, you need to follow the tech journey. And the tech journey goes as follows. Essentially, any robotics program needs to cover the fundamentals of programming in electrical circuits. And the first pillar is engineering. So that is your robotics, hardware, and software projects. It teaches kids about automation, system design, integration analysis, and advanced electronic circuits. The second is computer sciences in university. It teaches you all about web, game, and app development, and it teaches kids, exposes them to new languages such as C#, Java, and Python programming. And most importantly, where we're heading as a world, data sciences. Big data, AI, machine learning, all lies in this field. And so we believe that our offering, whether you're starting at grade 1 or you're matriculating, encompasses the fundamentals as well as every single field that I've mentioned here to give the students a taste of what they need before they go to university. So what we offer, firstly, we offer a comprehensive robotics curriculum that includes a 40-week lesson structure for teachers, assessment structures, and exams. It is CAPS and it is STEM aligned. I know this word STEM has become STEAM now. And here's some of our lesson curriculum and exams that we've provided to some of our schools. All our videos are on our online learning platform. It's extremely exciting. Robotics and coding needs to be done on a learning platform where there's instructional videos because it's so difficult to learn coding and electronics using traditional paper-based methods. Our online platform focuses on theoretical videos, practical videos, design videos for kids, and game development, which is a little bit of fun and an upcoming field for kids as well. And our kits are very exciting. These are all reusable robotics kits that are extremely easy to assemble. Each kit has about 4 to 5 projects that students can do and come with components that can be reused. And the life cycle completely depends on how the schools take care of the kits, but it can go up to 5 years, if not even more. And for me, the most important step is teacher training. We've seen that successful implementation in any school, it comes from the buy-in from you guys, the teachers. A teacher that is excited and passionate to do this and is comfortable to do this is the big success at doing a successful robotics program at a school. And so our teacher training program happens twice a year. It's a 12-hour training program, class management skills, fundamentals in each course, setting up your labs, introduction to all the relevant softwares, and how to identify and solve problems in a coding and an electronic space as well. And if that's not enough, we offer a year-long technical support, which includes school visits, online teacher support, any hardware-related issues, we come and we solve it for you, and project consultation. So we create and tailor-make a course based on where your school is at, or we help pace it at wherever the school and how fast the learners are essentially learning. And this is a year-long support that we offer. So in summary, we believe that these 5 steps are the secret ingredients to successfully implement robotics at your school. And moving on, our implementation for schools. So if you look at the decision tree diagram, I always do this with the presentations. It's so critical for a school to identify in a place of being overwhelmed that we need to do robotics, but decide, is it an in-curriculum, is it an extramural club, or is it a private option where you send your kids to do an online school version? And we offer streams in all of this. And as mentioned, our project types cover all the way from computational thinking for kids to engineering, computer sciences, to data sciences. And we focus on from grades 1 all the way to grade 12. And so once schools have made a decision that you want to do robotics, we are there essentially to take over and help you run it. So our learning stream options, very exciting. We have 5 streams, 3 in primary school, 2 in high school, that goes from novice, adept, apprentice, master, and advanced. And for novice, which is computational thinking from grade 1 to 3, these are critical concepts for kids as their brains are evolving. We teach them algorithms, decomposition, patterns, and abstraction. And these are done in a lesson format from teachers. And this forms the foundation for kids to think in that logical way by the time they get to high school to solve problems. This moves on to our streams. I think for the space of time, I'm not going through every stream in detail, but please download our product catalog and check it out. In the primary school, we introduce kids to Scratch and some exciting electronic projects such as Sanitizer and Smart Garden. We build on that on game development in Scratch, object-oriented programming, and they build home automation system, and they just get introduced to Python, which is the world's most popular language in the world right now. Our high school all starts off with the fundamentals to make sure that everyone from different primary schools are on the same page. We go through all the same concepts, but they learn and they build on from existing projects to make even more exciting projects. And some of the highlights are your data analytics and game development courses in Python and C# game development courses. We've had tons of kids during this lockdown complete these games, which I would have never been able to do in high school, but just kids are getting so much smarter these days. And I'm very, very excited about launching these courses. And all these courses cover all the way from what I've said, from engineering, computer sciences, and data sciences. In terms of our costing, this is the big money question that everyone's been waiting for. So our computational thinking courses are 40 lessons that are almost 2 hours long for teachers to do in classrooms. If you buy one of them, it's 10,000 Rand, but if you buy all three, it goes all the way down to 24,000. It's a once-off cost. You buy it, you use it forever in schools. In terms of our learning stream options, all of the streams going from grade 4 to 10, our kids start off at 1,600 Rand all the way to 1,900 Rand. In terms of our licenses, it's 125 Rand per month, and that includes the online learning platform, year-long curriculum. And if you buy more than 20 kits, it goes into a master components box, teacher training, technical support is all included. Now, Peter, the most exciting thing of this presentation I can see is that for all the teachers that have taken the initiative to join this and want to make a difference, we are giving a Schoolscape promotion where till the end of August, for the people that are attending, we have dropped all our prices to $9.99 for the kits and all our license to 99 Rand a month, because we completely believe and we understand the financial situation the schools are in. And so we want every school to give a shot at this. Buy 10 kits, share it with among 10, 20, 30, 40 students, but get started and partner with us, as we really believe we can help you in the long term. And yeah, currently we've been implementing in these schools, and these are some of the projects that some of our kids have done. Some are really good photography. That's because we hired a photographer. Some are using my phone, so hence the photo quality difference. And thank you.
Brilliant. Rajesh, thank you. I think you are on like a topic that a lot of schools are really interested in. So I encourage you, all the schools, jump onto their exhibitor profile. They'll be there to answer any questions. You can meet up and chat with them. Rajesh, thank you. We'll knock you off screen now.
Cool.
And while Rajesh is going off screen, we are about to give away 1,000 Rand Take a Lot voucher from Sonic Wall. Before we do that, just one quick, slightly longer announcement, but we have a whole pile of kind of meetups. So these are smaller meetings and they are more intimate. We want to keep this main session like an hour and a half. Thereafter, we have smaller discussions that you can join if they are relevant. How you get onto them is on your computer. If you click on community, there's a section then under community for meetups. If you're on your mobile, you click on community, and also you'll see meetups and roundtable discussions. Some of the ones that are going live at 11:15, Secure Classroom of the Future. So that is going to be done by the team of EduBoard. I think everyone is aware of security, so they're going to be talking about that. We've got the team from Snaplify is managing your annual textbook purchase. That is happening at 11:25. Advantage Learn, I see there's 16 people already going to this one, are doing a live showcase, just a bit more detail of what they presented. And then I really enjoyed this one. 11:45, getting the bucks for your IT project. I think that is a big burden for most schools, so that happens at 11:45. And then there are more later happening this afternoon, which are a bit more teacher focused, but you are also welcome to jump onto those. So please go see if there's anything relevant. There are also teacher topics that you can join in. But that's enough from me. Let's give away a prize.
Great. So we've been watching and checking who is online, who's with us today. And so we, at random, little smart algorithm picked a person. So our first of 10 Sonic All sponsored Take a Lot vouchers goes to someone called Eileen Stefan. So congratulations,
Well
Eileen. We have your details. We'll be in contact with you soon to get that prize to you. And then for tomorrow's prize, we have decided, we know how much we all are on social media at the moment. Maybe we should all be on social media a little less, but we want to encourage you to win tomorrow's Take a Lot voucher. One, maybe we'll give away 2. We'll see how we feel. You need to either go like us as Schoolscape on
School Advisor.
Sorry, School Advisor on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, so whichever one you kind of spend most time on. And if you would like to get 2 entries, you can comment or post something and hashtag Schoolscape IT. So that'll give you more than 1 entry. But yeah, so please go and like us, follow us, engage with us on our social media platforms, and then we're going to pull out one of our new likes or follows tomorrow, and then we'll be giving away some more great prizes.
Brilliant. And then just to close, Pierre keeps sending us funny clips, so we couldn't help. I think this one with Lockdown 2 kicking in, I thought this one would just be relevant for us to close, and it's only 25 seconds, and I pre-watched it. It just kind of blows my mind away. I don't know how he does the stuff, so give me 1 second. Oh, is this the right one? Let me just actually pop it up on this screen. Here we go. I honestly don't know how he does that stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, that is us done for the day for the official component. There are also meetups. Tomorrow morning, we will kick off at 9:30 again. We have Gillian Aronser, who is such an inspirational speaker. After that, we're going to be looking at a whole pile of solar-powered labs, which is quite exciting. So that is for tomorrow. And then on our last day, a lot of people are asking who our final classroom is going to be. And that is going to be presented by Leo Stagg. He's from St. David's, and their school has gone through a massive revamp. I think they have like 5 internet lines coming in. They've got all this redundancy. They've just done some really incredible stuff, and how Leo thinks about it is incredibly different. So he's going to be looking at a couple of the principles, what they've done in their school, and how it could apply to your school. So that is our official component. So from Ash,
awesome,
Kev, and myself, thank you. Please jump onto the round tables. Just click on community. There's Kev. He'll say a cheers.
Yes, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, that is us done.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Bye.